Sources: Phillies Twins agree to trade for Jhoan Duran. The Philadelphia Phillies have bolstered their bullpen, acquiring all-star closer Jhoan Duran from the Minnesota Twins. In exchange, the Twins receive catcher Eduardo Tate and pitcher Mick Abel, two of Philadelphia's top minor league prospects. Duran, known for his blistering fastball averaging over 100 miles per hour and exceptional control, significantly upgrades the Phillies' late-game pitching. This move comes as the Twins enter a rebuilding phase, while the Phillies, currently tied for first in the NL East, aim to solidify their postseason chances. Philadelphia has struggled with blown saves this season, using 5 different players who each have multiple blown saves, highlighting a need for a reliable closer. Duran's addition addresses this critical weakness. His impressive 1.66 ERA and minimal home runs allowed this season showcase his dominance on the mound. He also offers the Phillies 2 more years of team control. The trade represents a significant shift in the playoff race, strengthening a contender while reshaping a team focused on the future. The impact of Duran's powerful pitching on the Phillies' postseason hopes will undoubtedly be a major storyline in the coming weeks.
In our next story, Israel at War Day 663, Canada to recognize Palestinian statehood in September if Ramallah commits to reforms. U.S. Special Envoy to the Middle East, Witkoff, is heading to Israel on Thursday to discuss the ongoing situation in Gaza. The Hamas-run Gaza Health Ministry reported devastating losses over the past 24 hours, with 103 Palestinians killed and 339 wounded, including 7 deaths attributed to hunger and malnutrition. This highlights the escalating humanitarian crisis. Israel has responded to the latest Hamas proposal for a hostage release and ceasefire, according to sources close to the negotiations. President Trump announced a U.S.-Israel partnership to establish new food centers in Gaza to alleviate the dire humanitarian situation. Meanwhile, a border police officer is under investigation after shooting a 17-year-old in the West Bank. Amidst these developments, Israeli Prime Minister Netanyahu accused Hamas of misappropriating humanitarian aid, claiming Israel airdropped aid to civilians in response. He also called for international support for aid efforts. Adding to the complexities, mothers of soldiers fighting in Gaza protested, demanding an end to the conflict, while 2 ultra-Orthodox Knesset factions reiterated their support for a hostage exchange. Separately, the IDF intercepted a drone launch from Yemen.
In our next story, The Naked Gun first reviews the funniest movie of the year. Critics are hailing the new Naked Gun as a hilarious return to form for the spoof comedy genre. Liam Neeson takes on the Leslie Nielsen role, and early reviews suggest he delivers a pitch-perfect comedic performance, alongside Pamela Anderson, who shines as a surprisingly ideal co-star. The film is packed with non-stop jokes, clever sight gags, and a relentless pace that keeps audiences laughing from beginning to end. While some critics note a slight dip in quality during the film's third act, the overall consensus is overwhelmingly positive. Many reviewers consider it the funniest movie of the year, and a welcome resurgence for a genre that has been largely absent from the big screen. The movie expertly blends classic Naked Gun humor with fresh, contemporary jokes. The film manages to honor the legacy of the original, while simultaneously forging its own unique identity. It's praised for being a genuine continuation of the series, rather than a mere rehash or cash grab. Supporting actors like Paul Walter Hauser and Cody Rhodes also add to the film's comedic brilliance. The Naked Gun reboot is not just a nostalgic trip for fans of the original trilogy. It's a wildly entertaining comedy that has earned rave reviews and promises to be a must-see theatrical experience for audiences of all ages.
In our next story, how Texas congressional districts would change under Republicans' new proposal. Texas Republicans have unveiled a proposed congressional redistricting map that significantly alters several districts currently held by Democrats, sparking immediate outrage and vows of legal challenges. The changes, seemingly designed to benefit the GOP in the 2026 midterm elections, target districts in South Texas, Dallas, Houston, and Austin. Critics argue the map is a blatant attempt to suppress minority votes and follows pressure from Donald Trump, who publicly praised similar efforts to bolster Republican seats. The proposed map redraws boundaries to incorporate more Latino voters into some districts currently held by Democrats, while simultaneously shifting other districts to include a higher proportion of white voters. This strategy aims to exploit demographic shifts and create more favorable conditions for Republican candidates. The changes would also potentially force primaries between sitting Democratic representatives, adding another layer of complexity and contention. Democratic lawmakers are considering a repeat of their 2021 strategy, leaving the state to prevent a quorum and block the passage of the bill. State Representative Gina Hinojosa stated that Democrats are prepared to fight with everything we got, characterizing the map as an attempt by Trump to suppress voter turnout. This echoes sentiments from other Democratic leaders and groups like Common Cause, who have vowed to challenge the map in court, citing illegal gerrymandering and violations of the Voting Rights Act. The proposed map is likely to face significant legal challenges, not only from Democrats but from nonpartisan organizations committed to fair representation. The outcome will determine whether these new district lines will be in place for the 2026 elections, setting a precedent for future redistricting battles across the country.
In our next story, Trump's comments on Epstein raise new questions about when and why they fell out. President Trump's recent comments about his relationship with Jeffrey Epstein have created confusion regarding the timeline of their falling out. Trump claims their break stemmed from Epstein repeatedly poaching employees from his Mar-a-Lago resort, including allegedly stealing a young woman who later became a prominent Epstein accuser, Virginia Giuffre. Trump insists he warned Epstein to stop this behavior, ultimately ejecting him from Mar-a-Lago after repeated violations. However, this account contradicts previous statements. In 2002, Trump publicly praised Epstein, calling him a terrific guy, with a fondness for young women. Further, in 2019, after Epstein's arrest, Trump stated he hadn't spoken to Epstein in 15 years, offering no specific reason for their estrangement. This discrepancy leaves the exact cause and timing of their falling out uncertain. Trump's shifting explanations have raised questions about the veracity of his claims and further fueled scrutiny of his past associations. The White House previously offered a simpler explanation, that Epstein was deemed a creep and removed from Mar-a-Lago, which differs from Trump's current narrative. The conflicting accounts highlight inconsistencies in the public record concerning the nature and duration of Trump's relationship with Epstein. The lack of a clear and consistent narrative regarding Trump's relationship with Epstein highlights the ongoing challenges in establishing a definitive timeline of their interactions and the reasons behind their eventual separation. The conflicting information underscores the ongoing public interest and need for clarity.